My name is Khoa. I'm from Vietnam. Nice to meet you all.
Today, I would like to make a presentation about logistics. If you have any question, you can contact me by email or my personal website. Thank you. Now, let's start with chapter 1, Fundamental of Logistics. We will cover the main point with a definition of logistics and associated terms. As we know, companies move materials. Manufacturers build factories that collect raw materials from suppliers and delivers finished goods to customers. A television news service collects the report from around the world and deliver them to the viewer. Most of us live in town and city and eat food brought in from the country. When you order the book from the website, the courier delivers it to your doors. Every time you buy, rent, lease, hire, or borrow anything at all, someone has to make sure that all the parts are brought together and delivered to your door. Every company delivers products to its customer. Traditionally, we have to describe these products as either goods or services. In reality, this view is rather misleading, and every product is a really complex packaging that contains both goods and services. Honda, for example, manufactures cars, but they also give service through warranty, after-sales service, and repair. It is more accurate to describe this product as lying on spectrum shown in the figure 1.1. On one hand, we have the products are primarily goods, such as car. On the other hand, the products are primarily services, such as insurance and education. In the middle, the products are wide even more balanced, such as restaurants, mills, and hospitals. The operations that create and deliver the products are the core of the company. The operations take a different of input and convert them into wanted output, as shown in the figure 1.2. The input includes raw materials, components, people, equipment, information, money, and other resources. The operation includes manufacturing, serving, transporting, selling, training, and so on. The main output are goods and services. The restaurant, for example, take input of food, chef, kitchen, waiters, and dining area. Its operation includes food preparation, cooking, and serving. The main output are meals, service, and customer satisfaction. The product created by organization are passed into its customer, giving in the cycle shown in the figure 1.3. It shows the customer generating demand with operation using resources to make products to satisfy them. The material move around this cycle we call logistics. Please take your time to read this figure carefully so that one can move to the next part. Thank you. The operations are usually to divide into a number of related parts. So the logistics also move material through the different parts of the company, collecting from internal supplier and delivery it to internal customers, as shown in the figure 1.4. Movement material in organization from the supplier we call inbound or inward logistics. Movement material out to the customer is outbound or outward logistics. Movement material within organization is material management. Materials. In this definition, we have talked about the movement of material. But what exactly do we mean by materials? Sometimes it is obvious when, for example, a farmer moves a potato to a wholesaler. At the other time, it is less clear when, for example, a research company creates a new technology. Tangible goods clearly have to be moved, and you can see easily the role of logistics. However, we can take a broader view to say that logistics also move less tangible things, such as information, messages. When a television company uses logistics to transmit the program to customer, in the different circumstances, logistics is responsible for the movement, raw materials, components, finished products, people, information, paperwork, message, knowledge, energy, money, and anything else need to be operations. To simplify, we describe all these as materials. To summarize, materials are all the things that organizations move to create products. The materials can be both tangible, such as material, and intangible, such as information. How can the company organize the material movement perfectly? Thank you to logistics. So, what is logistics? We can define that logistics is the function responsible for the flow of material from the supplier into an organization through operation within the organization and then out to customers. We can have many other definitions that we should know. According to the Council of Supply Chain Management Professionals, CSCMP, a professional organization for logistics and supply chain management professionals. Logistics is defined as
the process of planning, implementing, and controlling the efficient, effective flow and storage of goods, services, and related information from point of origin to point of consumption for the purpose of conforming to customer requirements.
Another definition from Council of Logistics Management, CLM.
Logistics is the process of planning, implementing, and controlling the efficient, cost-effective flow and storage of raw materials, in-process inventory, finished goods, and related information from point of origin to point of consumption for the purpose of conforming to customer requirements.
Let's summarize to our main point that you should know about logistics. Every company creates products to satisfy the customer demand. The operation that creates the products needs an efficient and efficient flow of materials. In this sense, materials are only goods and services needed to create products. Let's look at the figure 1.5 logistic network. We can see that the supplier transport to the manufacturers to process the products, and then the products stored in the warehouse and continue to move to the customers. Therefore, logistics is the function that's responsible for the flow of material into, through, and out of an organization. We come to the end of the presentation about logistics. Thank you for your listening, and if you have any comment, please feel free to email me. Thank you and goodbye.